Today's episode is brought to you by Microsoft Dragon Copilot, your AI assistant for clinical workflow. Learn about how Dragon Copilot can transform the way you work. Stick around after the episode or visit aka.ms/knockknockhi. Again, that's aka.ms/knockknockhi.
Knock, knock. Hi.
Welcome, everybody, to Knock Knock Hi with the Glauc and Fleckens. Over here, we have Lady Glauc and Flecken, also known as Kristen Flannery.
That's right, and you are Dr. Glaucomflecken, also known as Will Flannery.
Thank you for joining us on an episode of Glauc Talk.
Glauc talking.
I think I made a parenting mistake.
Uh-oh.
So this whole paying our youngest daughter to perform well in basketball.
Yeah, who could have seen that
Okay,
going
well,
wrong?
hold on. I mean, I think it's a good idea. I mean, it's worked. It has worked. She has never tried harder
It's true.
during basketball games. Right now, as of now, we're now like 6 games into the season. I'm about $38 in the hole.
Mhm.
I just told her that we'd keep a running tally, and I'd
Yeah.
just pay her some amount at the end of the season. The team is doing okay. They're like 5-3 or something, but she's performing very well.
Mhm.
We're working on her jump shot.
Yeah.
But
She
she's-
gives a lot of power, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
just bounces right
She's
back
a very
off that
strong
backboard.
kid, and so sometimes
Yeah.
she shoots a little bit too. Working on her form a little bit, get more of an arc on her shot.
Mhm.
But she's very athletic, and she's
Mhm.
much faster than the other kids,
Yeah.
and she's taller than most of them.
Right.
And so the tools are there. She just needs to evaluate. But and so it could be. I guess my point is it could be much worse
Mhm.
because she's missed a lot of shots, and so as she's getting better, it's I just don't know where we're going to end up at the end of the season.
Mhm.
But the reason I said it might be backfiring is because now, anytime I ask her to perform some kind of physical feat,
She wants
she's
paid.
wondering how much I'm going to pay her to do it. Just like,
I mean, fair.
yeah.
That's what you set up.
So there's a game we play. It's called Stick the Landing,
Okay.
where I have a chapstick
Oh, okay.
and I throw it into the kind of right above the bed,
Uh-huh.
and she jumps and like lays out on the bed and tries to catch it
Okay.
before it hits the ground, before it hits the bed.
Yeah.
Stick the landing. It's good, right?
Okay. I would argue that's not much of a landing, but it's
Well,
semantics.
It doesn't matter.
It's a belly flop.
But so we were gonna play that, and why chapstick? It's just what we had. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it
It's
was
just
fair.
it's just
You're
a
good
stupid
at
game.
making up games for her. Like
I love
you guys
making
are
up
on the
games.
same wavelength in terms of what's a fun game.
Yeah. But the other day, yesterday, we were gonna play this, and right before I threw it for the first time, she's like, "If I catch this, how much are you gonna pay me for it?" And I was like, "Nothing," and she seemed dumbfounded.
Yeah.
Like, what? What do you mean you're not gonna? I'm doing this thing. You're like, if I do it well, I'm turning our daughter into a raging capitalist,
hmm
and I don't know how I feel about it yet. I think I need to rein in the expectations a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And there is a lot of psychological research on internal versus external motivation. So had you consulted with me beforehand, I could have shared
Well,
that with you.
Okay, now how else are we gonna get her to like want to play a basketball game at 8:15 in the morning at a school that's 20 minutes away?
I don't know.
I had to bump the price for that game. I doubled the amount of money she would make for baskets scored.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like they just have to get a little older. Like, you cannot induce internal motivation. You just can't. That is something that comes
No,
from the person,
there's got to be some way to make that.
not internal motivation.
You can't augment or improve someone's internal motivation.
I don't think you can. I mean, they can. They can choose, like, oh, I'm really interested in this now, and so now they're really internally motivated. I guess you could sort of indirectly affect it if you maybe, like, expose her to a bunch of different things and she finds what she's internally motivated. I don't know. But external motivation is effective in the short term, but it
Right.
squashes any internal motivation.
Well, that's just great.
Yeah.
But we're all externally motivated to do anything,
Yeah, so, you get paid to go to work,
right?
so that's nice. But then how do you feel about being at work and going to work? Everybody's like, "Oh, I don't wanna go to work," right?
So what do you
The world's not
internally
black and white. I'm just
No, right, no,
saying
I hear
these
what you're
are
saying.
the
I'm
factors.
fascinated by this though. Like, so what would be an example of being internally motivated? High internal motivation to do
You
something.
are internally motivated to write skits. Even if no one paid you anything, you would still wanna write a skit.
But I get positive reaction on social media for that skit.
Right.
Like I have an audience.
Sure. And that reaction is internally motivating to you also. So that's a little bit of external motivation that feeds your internal motivation. So I don't know, maybe that's making your point from earlier, but
Like I'm internally motivated to eat food
yes, you're
because
internally motivated to watch Patrick Mahomes.
oh, poor Patrick. Oh
maybe
man.
I maybe I shouldn't have brought that one up, but
Now you made me
I'm
sad. Poor
sorry.
Patrick. My son, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. I think he's got enough external rewards that I can't feel too bad for him.
I tried to be excited about so the Super Bowl, happened a few weeks back, and our daughter, the same daughter we're talking about
Yeah,
with
she
the
loves to
basketball,
throw a party
she
for a holiday.
she loves
Loves it.
holidays, the baking, the cookie. I think she just likes to eat
Decorations.
sweets, but she does love like the festivity of it all.
Mhm.
And so this is the first time she did it for the Super Bowl because it
Yeah.
felt like a thing because we've been talking about it.
Yep. She made cupcakes. They had little field goal posts on the cupcake.
And I'm a Chiefs fan. I mean, I wouldn't even call myself like a real Chiefs
No,
fan.
you're a Patrick Mahomes
I'm
fan.
a Patrick Mahomes fan, and because he went to Texas Tech, and he's the most amazing thing that's ever happened to Texas
Yes,
Tech
and you went to
University.
Texas Tech. That's a,
Yeah,
a crucial.
well, it's a family. Like my whole
Yes.
family went to Texas Tech,
Right.
and so naturally, anywhere Patrick Mahomes went to play football, I would be a massive fan of them.
Hmm.
But I have grown to like the Chiefs, the people that root for the Chiefs,
Yeah.
like it's a great organization, everything. And but now I'm sad to think about Patrick Mahomes not winning the Super Bowl.
Well, you can't win them all. It builds character.
I
What
guess
other
so.
tropes can I throw out here?
All right, intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like
Yeah. So you're intrinsically
life.
motivated to watch Patrick Mahomes. Like nothing, no one pays you
Yeah,
for that, and you will do.
it's like something.
I can attest. You watch anything he is in
So
and
so
everything.
so it's like in my soul,
Yes.
like it's something in my psychology
Yes.
that's telling me that I want to do this thing.
Yes. You need no external anything to push you to do that thing.
Okay. Like for you, you're obsessed with cleanliness and order.
No, this is not a good example because that is more of a coping mechanism for my neurodivergence.
What?
So, but I okay here. I'm internally motivated to learn things. I just like to learn things. I
Okay.
do it for fun.
Gotcha.
Even when I'm not in school, I'm not getting anything for learning it. I just like to learn things.
Gotcha. I was
Our
very much
daughter is internally motivated to eat sweets.
I was very much externally motivated to learn.
Yeah, see, that's the difference. I see that difference between you and me, and then I see that difference between our two kids.
Yeah.
The older one
Yeah,
is
just
like
like
me,
you.
just loves
Yeah.
to learn. The younger one, she needs a little convincing. She's very smart, just like you,
Right.
but
Yeah.
there's other fun things.
Like I needed to be working toward getting my MD, working toward receiving my board certification in ophthalmology
Hmm.
in order to make me want to learn. And then
Right.
once I passed my board exam, I was like, "Yes, finally, I don't have to
No
learn
more
anything
learning. You
ever
like to turn
again."
your brain off. I like to have my brain be on.
But the
So I would argue you were not,
what if you run out of gas?
but it energizes me. That's the
Doesn't your
difference.
brain get tired?
I mean, I sleep,
Yeah, you do sleep very well.
but I
Okay.
I
All
just
right.
like
Internal
it.
versus external
Yeah.
motivation.
So you were not internally motivated to learn. You were only externally motivated, and as soon as you no longer had external motivation to learn anymore, you stopped.
What? Like, I still will learn some things
If
for
you
my
have
job.
to,
If I,
right, for
yeah,
your job. See what I'm saying?
I see. Okay. Yeah. I'm understanding the difference now.
Okay. So, by providing external motivation for basketball, you will get the behavior in the short term,
Yeah.
but you squash the desire
Like to be great.
because you're not
But
doing
if she's
anything
not,
that develops her
but
internal
if she's not
motivation.
wired,
She's playing for the money, not for the
but you
sport.
just told me that there's no way to
Yeah.
make someone
So
internally
let
motivated.
them be who they are. That's what I would say. If she doesn't like basketball, don't
Well, it's
make her
not that,
play
but the thing
basketball.
she does like it. She likes to. I just think
She
she
doesn't
needs.
like organized sports. She likes free play
Yeah.
sports.
Right.
She doesn't want to have to commit to a schedule. She doesn't want to have other people depending on her as a teammate.
Look, if she's
She
gonna
just likes to play around.
look if she's gonna be an Olympian, she's got to
Oh my
start
God.
now. And I've got a whole practice schedule set up where travel teams. It's the real deal
Oh
here.
my goodness.
You know early. You gotta get on it.
I got news for you. You're probably already too late anyway.
Probably. She's she's already 9 years old.
Yeah, 10.
That's right, about to turn 10. Okay, let's take a break. Then we got some healthcare news.
Okay.
Hey, Kristen,
Yeah,
I've got some friends I'd like you to meet.
I see that. You seem a little too friendly with them, I have to say.
Aren't they cute
Sure.
with the little beady eyes
Uh-huh.
and their little hands? Are they hands? The claws?
I don't know.
Appendages. How
Okay.
about that?
Yeah, it works.
But anyway, they'd like to say hi. They
Okay.
like to say hi.
Hi. Okay. Wonderful.
They're not. Oh, look, the one's sticking
It
around.
sure is.
All right,
Right on my mic.
these little guys are Demodex,
Mhm.
and they live on your eyelashes.
Yeah.
And they can cause flaky, red, irritated eyelids.
See, that's not cool.
You just
That's
kind of
a
want to
party
like rub
foul.
them,
You're not welcome here if you're gonna do that.
and it's caused sometimes by these little guys.
Yep, that's rude.
Demodex blepharitis, but you shouldn't get grossed out by this.
Okay.
All right, you got to get checked out.
Yes, get checked out.
To find out more, go to eyelidcheck.com. Again, that's EYELID check.com for more information about these little guys and Demodex blepharitis. All right, let's talk about not exactly a fun topic, but the NIH cuts. This has
Yeah.
really been a big talking point
Yeah.
everywhere.
I feel like too, at the pace that news moves in a Trump administration, this is probably gonna be wildly outdated just by the time it comes out.
Well, we'll see.
So
At this point, it's been talked about for like at least a week or so. And so I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
who
see.
knows?
It could be different, but basically, the NIH is going to be like research funding will be cut by a tremendous amount. It's like 15% or like a big chunk of money is going to be taken out of the budget for the NIH. And I guess a lot of it is geared more toward indirect payment
Mhm.
cuts. So I'm not I'm as far from an academician
Yes, you are. You're
as you
no
can.
researcher.
You have more academic like
Yeah.
knowledge of the system and how it works than I
Right.
do. But I do know that, indirect funds basically go to like the institution. It's like what's supposed to pay for like keeping the lights on and security
Right.
and rent.
The overhead.
That's like overhead stuff, right? And then and that can be actually a very large percentage of a grant can
Mhm.
actually be like indirect funds
Right. I mean,
that
that's a
don't.
point of contention in and of
Right,
itself. Is
that
how
alone is like,
much.
is
Yeah.
that like it's the person, the researcher that's doing all the work to to put the grant together, to get the funding, and then the majority of it goes not to actually doing the research, but to overhead and all these
Mhm.
other things. So anyway, that's a separate issue.
Yeah.
But the fact is that, and as part of Trump's administration's, what Department of Government Efficiency or whatever, Elon Musk, whatever,
Mhm.
um, this is like one of the cuts is this big slash in NIH funding. So here's what I wanted to talk about is what could this possibly mean for medical education?
Yeah. I feel like nothing good.
Because although it's we're talking about research funding,
Yeah.
but I feel like there's, especially in academic institutions,
Those are closely tied
right? They're
to
closely tied
the institutional funding.
with resident education,
Yeah.
with med student education, and I know I don't know the ins and outs of how where this money goes in any given institution,
Yeah.
but I imagine a lot of it, some of it at least, goes to supporting education of residents and med students and everything. So, um,
Sometimes you'll have, like, part of the grant will be, "I'm gonna need 3 grad students to be able
right.
to work on this, so I'll need to be able to pay them."
So it's kind of scary to think about, right? Because um, is this going to mean fewer, less funding for spots in med schools, or what's it going to mean for funding of residency spots? People are already wanting more funding for more residency spots.
Mhm.
So is the capacity of these institutions to train and educate going to be decreased because there's less funding for just to go around?
Right.
Um, and what my concern is that you're going to see more private institutions coming in as the educators,
Yeah.
which we know how well that has gone in healthcare so far with
Right.
private organizations like United Healthcare, Aetna.
Mhm.
Is United Healthcare going to have a United Healthcare School of
So
Medicine?
right, so you're thinking it's gonna be almost like a voucher system, but for med
I
school,
have
right?
I
Like,
have no idea what's
there's
going to,
gonna be these.
but I can see a world where there's not enough money coming into academic institutions
Yeah.
that educate med students, that train residents. And so where's the money going to come from?
I mean, I think that would be consistent with what we're
Wanting
seeing
to privatize
with
everything.
their healthcare priority, well, with their national priorities and their
Yeah.
approach to changing the government. It's very much like make everything run like a business, apply business principles, get the best business minds,
Yeah.
supposedly, um, run things like a business. 'Cause that's what Donald Trump knows how to do,
Right.
right? And
Right.
so the Department of Education is not
Hmm.
doing well under either Trump
Right.
administration.
Right.
So they're not prioritizing that. That's been made clear. And then they are doing all these funding cuts to organizations that do health research, that, I mean,
Right.
just funding cuts all over the place. They've put someone in as head of HHS that doesn't know or believe many scientific facts.
Did you hear
And
he was dosing himself with methylene blue the other day, which in high amounts can like cause seizures and stuff.
so that's great. But so my whole point is taken
Sorry,
together,
RFK, by the way, if anybody's not sure
yes,
who we're talking about.
Junior.
Right. My bad. Yes.
But taken together, that all paints a picture
Yeah.
that, yeah, they want to
What
make
direction they're
healthcare
going.
even more business-like.
Right. I'm trying to wrap my head around what an Optum School of Medicine is going to look like.
I mean, it's going to look like a business. It's going to look like cut anything that's,
Yeah.
not profit driven,
Right. So certain.
maximize profit, minimize expenses,
So let's see what part.
increase revenue,
Any
so price
required
increases.
ophthalmology rotation out the door.
Probably.
That's not going to be a
No,
priority.
I mean, I don't think
Absolutely not.
I don't think anywhere has a required ophthalmology rotation, do they?
Iowa does. Iowa.
In med school?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
So one
In a
place.
whopping 2 weeks. I think there's probably other places that have it too, but I don't want to get sidetracked.
Yeah.
uh, so so that I think
They're gonna have a
honestly,
class on billing codes.
I think that's probably going to actually, that would be a good idea. We need to, like,
Yeah, but
teach our people
in
how to
this
bill.
one, I'm envisioning more like, let's come up with
How
ridiculous
or
billing codes that we can figure out how to deny more easily.
or have that be a focus, like how
How
to
to increase
maximize your
Mhm.
billing, to the point where it maybe crosses, like, ethical
Right.
boundaries. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. It's wild, and, I
Yeah.
mean, surely I'm sure there is a lot of waste in any government program is
Yeah,
probably gonna have
sure.
some waste, but these are, like, massive cuts, and
Yeah.
I think I'm just afraid that we don't know because I'm talking in speculation, right? I don't know
Mhm.
how medical education is gonna be impacted by this, but man, like, I think a lot of people who are making these decisions, they don't know either.
Right. Well, and I
They
think they don't value either education or healthcare.
all they're thinking is, "This is a high number, we gotta bring it down to a lower number."
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we just need a open a Glaucomflecken
Oy.
School of Medicine.
What would they learn there?
It would
The
be
Jonathan Nod,
it
that's a whole
it
semester,
would be 9
perfecting that.
it would be 9 months of ophthalmology. You can have 3 months where you combine all the other specialties.
Okay.
I think that's probably a
That's
fair
generous body
distribution.
medicine coming from you.
Yeah, body medicine gets 3 full months.
Yeah.
You could, do, a month on every part of the body, lower body, middle
Uh-huh.
body,
Upper
upper
body.
body.
And then eyes the whole rest of the year.
I think maybe Optum should fund my school of medicine. Maybe
Oh,
the
boy.
Department of Government Efficiency should give me some of that money that they're cutting.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I think I could do a lot with it. That's all I'm
Hmm.
saying. I mean, since we're talking about, like, a Glaucomflecken hospital or sorry, a Glaucomflecken medical school, how would you having seen me go through med school, how would you change my like,
Mhm.
what were your favorite parts of my medical school experience? Like, 1st year, 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year, do you have a preference?
Graduation.
Like, did you find the 1st and 2nd years to be
I hated those.
harder?
Yeah, I did not like those.
Why?
Um,
Because that was actually the most consistent schedule that I
yes,
had.
that's true, but you were stressed out all the time, and I hardly ever saw you because most of the time you were either in class, in the library studying.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that was a it's a tough time.
But not home,
Also, we
um,
had tests. We were taking tests, like, every 2
all the
weeks.
time,
Every
yeah,
2
and you
weeks.
were learning so much material all at once.
Yeah,
Um,
it was rough. It was, like, all a blur too, like,
yeah.
honestly. Like, those
I
first
just
couple
remember, like,
years.
there were, like, these, like, because I was in grad school at the time, and there were my program had, like, events that they would throw at certain times of
Mhm,
year and different holidays or whatnot, and everybody would, like, bring their
mhm.
significant others or a friend or whatever, and I was always there alone.
Sorry.
And if you did go, you stayed for about 10 minutes, the entire time of which I could see on your face that you were just thinking about how much studying you needed to be doing right now, and then you would leave and go do the studying.
Sounded like you had a lot of fun being married to me during med school.
That's what I'm saying. I did not like those years, and
Actually,
graduation was my favorite
the
part.
first year and a half, it was we weren't even married yet.
That's true.
So, you still stuck with me even though that was my behavior.
Yep.
That was also bad. The one thing I remember vividly is how bad those first 2 years were for my back.
Yeah, all the
I
hunching
was
over a
sitting
desk.
so much in
Mhm.
class, studying, all constantly sitting. I know I joke about how much ophthalmologists love to sit. Well,
Mhm.
now I sit in moderation.
Now you sit and stand alternating.
Yes,
I think that makes the big
that makes a
difference.
difference.
Yeah. But
Like,
then you just sat all day long.
I was like, it was, man, I feel very fortunate now that I'm in a job where I don't have to just sit constantly.
Yeah.
Like that, man, that's hard
Me
on your
too. When I
body.
had an office job
Yeah.
that I had to, like, go to physical therapy and I had a surgery, and a lot of it was at least that was a contributing factor.
Working kills you, everybody.
That's right.
Your job is slowly murdering you.
Uh,
I don't know what to do about that information, but it's
but
true.
Were you asking what changes would I make to a med school
Mhm.
curriculum?
Oh, I know what that's this is
Oh, what do you think it'd be?
oh, it's gonna be all the, like, humanism stuff,
You
right?
just roll your eyes and
No, no, I didn't roll my eyes. I just,
flip
like
your hand.
that you wanna make it to where people can connect with patients better and
Um, that's not what I was gonna say exactly.
okay, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say I would teach the students.
Mhm. How to use ChatGPT?
No. Um, it'd be almost like kindergarten. It'd be how to
Colors,
feel your
shapes?
feelings and how to regulate emotions in a healthy manner.
Mm. Using some kinda
Regulate rather
sing-song?
than suppress. Don't compartmentalize
Would we sit
without circling back and processing.
would we sit cross-legged in a circle?
I mean, if that makes you more comfortable to feel your emotions, you could have your blankies and stuffies.
I can't sit like
You could
that
have soft
anymore. My back
music.
hurts too much. Alright, so you have more to be honest, med schools do have feelings time. Like, we had feelings time.
What did
It's
that
not
look
it's
like?
not med students you have to worry about with
Well,
having
it just gets worse along the way.
right, so what does that tell you? It's not med school.
Well, it starts in
It's
med school.
practicing medicine that
Sure.
beats it out of
I
you.
know. Look, we're talking right now about med school.
Yeah,
I didn't
right.
say I would only do it in med school, but you asked me about med school.
Well,
I would start there.
I'm saying we do have, like, kumbaya circles in med school. Like, it does
What did
happen.
you do in them, though?
We talked about it. We had, like, these we called them rounds where we actually would be able to talk about some of the,
Mhm.
like, patient deaths and some of the
Yeah.
more challenging things and patient
That
interactions.
is good.
Like, that happened pretty regularly.
That is
Yeah.
good, and I wouldn't wanna take that out. I would add emotion education
No, just learning about emotions.
and what to do about
Learn
them,
about the limbic system.
healthy regulating versus unhealthy.
Mm, not just the which neurons attach to which parts of the
Correct.
brain.
Yes.
I hated that when we learned about the limbic system. That thing is complicated.
It is.
That is way too complicated. In fact, if anything turned me off of neurology, like as a
It was the
specialty, it was
limbic
learning
system.
about the limbic system. Actually, that now it's all making sense.
Yes, and the limbic
It's
system,
all coming
I
together for
studied that
me.
heavily while I was in grad school.
Man, you're right about everything.
Our lives would be so much simpler if you could come to that conclusion more quickly every time.
Oh God. All right. Let's take one more break. All right, let's finish up with some what would you do scenarios.
Ooh, okay.
All right, I got one for you.
Okay.
You pour your cereal into a bowl.
Okay.
What cereal? You can choose.
I every morning I have a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios.
Let's just go crazy. You can pick anything.
I like Honey
Little
Nut Cheerios.
CTC,
Oh yeah, I do like that too.
some Apple Jacks,
That's okay.
honeycomb,
I think Cinnamon Toast Crunch would be my favorite.
Sugar Smacks.
No, ew.
You're not a Sugar
I did
Smack?
not like those.
Frosted Flakes,
Yeah, love those.
Tricks,
Sure.
Lucky Charms,
Yeah.
Cocoa
Okay, are
Krispies.
we just gonna name cereals,
I've,
or is
I've,
there a
I've, I've,
scenario here?
I'm trying to get to know you better. Okay. I
I
just
have
learned that
known
you
you
didn't.
for 2 decades. You don't know my cereal preferences?
Well, I know you're a big Honey Nut Cheerios and grape nuts.
I wouldn't
Oh,
say I'm big on those. But I can eat them. But I have to warm them up and put a ton of sugar on it.
grape nuts is the most horrifying cereal.
All alone, it is disgusting. That's what all the
Hot
sugar is for.
hot milk.
But oatmeal, okay?
Okay.
Hot milk and oatmeal. Hot cereal versus cold cereal. It's a thing. And the reason I warm it is because it makes it softer. And grape nuts
Yeah.
on their own are so hard that they hurt my teeth. So you could break your tooth on one of those.
What is your like thinking when you're like going to the store and getting grape nuts?
It seems healthier, but then it's not because I add a bunch of sugar.
So you're intrinsically you're internally, what do we call it? Intrinsically motivated?
Intrinsically or internally will work.
Intrinsically motivated to get grape nuts because you think it's healthier. No,
I
that's
wouldn't that's external. Yeah.
external because you
I
feel like you're
don't
getting the
want
health
to
benefits.
Yeah.
And then the little demon inside you is, "No.
Yeah. Put sugar on
Oh,
it.
sugar. All the sugar."
Yeah.
How many spoonfuls?
Probably 2 minimum, 2 to 4.
So you turn grape nuts into into
Sugar with
hu
some fiber in it.
yeah. It's basically okay, alright, yeah, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I think is that takes I knew you were a big fan of that.
That's probably
Um,
my favorite overall, like, deliciousness-wise.
so eventually I'm gonna get to why I brought this up,
Okay,
but
good.
the last thing is since feel like you pride yourself on knowing all of us very well, I took the kids to the grocery store the other
Mhm,
day, and to bribe them to extrinsically motivate them to come, I told them they could pick out a cereal.
mhm.
What did they pick?
Um, the younger one well, I saw this, so it's cheating. She picked Cookie Crisp, which is
Shit.
no surprise. She just wants
Cookie Crisp.
cookies for her cereal, which is very on brand for
I
her.
hope people remember that commercial. You
Yeah,
remember that
I
commercial?
do.
Okay, older one.
Um, the older one would probably pick she really loves Frosted Flakes
Frosted
right now.
Flakes. That's
She's
what
on
it
a
was.
kick. Yeah.
Frosted Flakes and Cookie Crisp.
Yep.
Okay. So anyway, you pour your cereal into a bowl and then realize that you don't have any milk in the
Duh, I
fridge.
hate it when that happens.
How do you
That has
react?
happened to me so many times. You know what is I get mad. That's how I react, obviously.
But
You know what I
like,
really hate is when there's no milk,
okay,
but you think there is
yeah,
because one of you people has put the empty milk carton
like it's not me.
back in the
I never
fridge.
do that. I never do that. I know better. I know better
You used
by
to
the
do that.
39 years of age.
Yeah.
I've learned.
And
So,
now,
but
like, we get a kind that's not, see-through, and, like, I can't tell whether it has anything in it just by looking at it, and so I pick it up, and I'm expecting some heft, you know?
oh
Just
god. But put me into your mind space. So you're opening up the fridge.
Mhm.
The moment you realize there's no milk, here's what I imagine. You go, oh man. Ugh,
That's more like it, that sound.
ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
William.
Uh, no, you're always gone by the time I have breakfast.
You and you
I
don't
have to wait a bit.
and you don't call me William.
Only when you're in trouble. I do sometimes.
And then what do you do with the bowl, the cereal?
Then you have to either pour it back in, which because we have the, not I'm not talking about putting it back in the bag that comes in the box. I'm talking
Mhm.
about we put them in the what do you call those? They're containers.
Yeah, plastic
Yeah,
containers.
with a lid on it. So it's easy. You can just pour it right back in. Or you push it off to the back of the counter
Yeah.
and wait for
That's what you do.
I do
Because
that.
I've seen you do
I
that
have. Yeah.
multiple
Like I
times.
still want this. I claim this bowl of cereal. I'm not giving
No
it
one's
back to you
no one's
people.
taking your grape nuts, girl.
I wouldn't do that for grape nuts. Ugh.
Straight in the trash with grape nuts. Grinding your teeth
Yeah,
down to nubs
I
on
know.
grape nuts.
But they're healthy.
Same with your when I first met you, you had Malto
Malto
meal,
meal, yeah. But again,
the
I
most
had you know what
vile
I
product ever devised by
all by
man.
itself, yes. But then I put a bunch of butter and a bunch of brown sugar and a bunch of milk
Mm,
in it, and then it was edible. Listen, as a person with ARFID, you gotta do whatever you can
sure.
do to get certain things into your body.
I even think with all that, like grape nuts taste like crap. So I don't like don't taste like grapes at
Then
all.
you're not putting enough sugar in them.
Okay. Well,
And no, they don't taste like I don't know why they're called grape nuts.
all right.
This
Well,
is fascinating.
I'm I I knew exactly how you'd react to all those things, and I just wanted you to put it out there,
Are you just
to the
trying
world
to make fun of me? Are you mocking
a
me?
little bit,
Shaming me publicly?
just a tiny bit.
I mean, that's not nice. You know, when I do that stuff to you, I hear about it in the comments section.
Well, people, can you guys? I want you to tell me what you think of me, how mean I am. All right. Do you have anything to add about cereal? Did
No,
we
I
cover
think
it all?
we have bashed that horse good and dead.
How big of a bowl of cereal
Oh
do
my
you get?
gosh.
Small bowl,
Standard
medium
bowl.
bowl,
We have medium. Yeah.
standard
We
bowl?
have small, medium, large. I go for medium.
That makes like the three little bears. Mama size bowl, daddy
Hmm.
bowl, baby bowl.
It's 3 little pigs and
No, the three little
Goldilocks and the 3 bears.
three. It's not three. It's not three little bears.
No,
Goldilocks and the three
just
pigs.
3 bears. They're not all little. One's big, one's medium, one's little. All the pigs are little though.
That's our show for today. If you have any other nursery rhymes you want us to butcher, or me specifically, let us know. You can reach out to us, knockknockhi@human-content.com. Visit us on our social media platforms. Hang out with us in the Human Content Podcast family on Instagram and TikTok at Human Pods. At Human Content Pods. Human Pods would be a totally different
That's
experience.
different, yes.
Thanks to all the listeners leaving feedback and reviews. If you subscribe and comment on your favorite podcasting app or on YouTube, we can give you a shout out, like at Kuroi XHF on YouTube said Dr. G needs to wrap the HIPAA release terms. Then we can finally call it the hip hop release terms.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Are we going to do it?
Oh, my God. All right, we'll see when we get there. Full video episodes are up every week on our YouTube channel at Glaucumfleckens. Lots of cool perks over on Patreon, too. Bonus episodes, react to medical shows and movies, hang out with other people in our little community. We're there. We're active in it. Early ad-free episode access, interactive Q&A live stream events, much more. Patreon.com/Glaucumflecken. All right, speaking of Patreon community perps. Perps.
I don't think we have any
These
perps.
are all our perps. No, our perps go to Patreon jail. No one's in it right now because everyone behaves.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the Jonathans. Patrick, Lucia C., Sharon S., Edward K., Stephen G., Marion W., Mr. Granddaddy, Caitlin C., Brianna L., Mary H. K. L., Keith G., Jeremiah H., Parker, Muhammad L., David H. ×2, Kaylee A., Gabe, Gary M., Eric B., Marlene S., Scott M., Kelsey M., Joseph S., Dr. Hoover, Bubbly Salt, and Shawnee D. Patreon roulette time. Random shout out to some of the emergency medicine tier. Joyce C. Thank you for being a patron. And thank you all for listening. We're your hosts, Will and Kristen Flannery, also known as the Glaucumfleckens. Our executive producers are Will Flannery, Kristen Flannery, Aaron Corney, Rob Goldman, and Shanti Brook. Editor and engineers Jason Portiza. Our music is by Omer Ben Svi. To learn about or not,
Oh, God, no. Is this Fresh Prince?
Program disclaimer and ethics policy, submission, verification, licensing terms, and those HIPAA release terms. This is what cringe is. This what cringe is?
Yeah.
All right.
Got it.
You can go to glaucumflecken.com or reach out to us. How am I doing?
I am.
You've given me no beat to do this to. All right. Next time you're giving me a beat. Reach out to us, knockknockhi@human-content.com with any questions, concerns, or fun medical puns. Mercifully, Knock Knock Hi is a human content production.
Knock, knock, goodbye.
Hey, Kristen,
What's up?
you know what character people like the most?
Easily Jonathan.
Yeah, 100%. Everybody loves Jonathan. Everybody wants a Jonathan as part of their healthcare team.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
Well, I can't give you Jonathan.
Well, that's too bad.
I can give you Microsoft Dragon Copilot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that might be even better.
This is your AI assistant for clinical workflow. It's incredible. It helps to streamline documentation, which is one of the hardest parts of being a physician these days. Yeah, it allows you to automatically convert conversations into specialty-specific notes.
That's pretty cool.
It really is. You can customize commands and templates, and it also helps you to summarize notes and evidence,
Mm-hmm.
and it just makes your job so much easier by taking away some of that administrative burden.
Yeah.
To learn more about how Microsoft Dragon Copilot can work for you, visit aka.ms/knockknockhi. Again, that's aka.ms/knockknockhi. Thanks for watching the episode. You can find more on that playlist over there. If you prefer to listen or you just had your eyes dilated, you can binge full episodes wherever you get your podcasts, or join the party over on Patreon, where you get early access episodes, hang out with us, get lots of exclusive bonus content,
Hope you subscribe, leave a comment below, let us know what you think.